Hey guys, come follow me. We're into Exodus. This is really cool. So we're in chapters 1 through 6 of Exodus. This is the beginning of the story of Moses. And what a story, right? Awesome stuff. So again, a whole lot in this week pack that you could focus on, and I have prayerfully selected 5 points which I feel are going to benefit people most, I guess, in living now, because that's what we do here. We look at scriptures and take that wisdom and apply it in our lives now. So chapter 1 starts off where they've now got a new Pharaoh. He doesn't like, it's from a different, I don't know if you've been watching The Crown or you're familiar with the royals and how it works. It's a different family. It's not the same family that knew Joseph. It actually says there that they knew not Joseph. And so Joseph had long passed away. And in verse 9 and 10, the Pharaoh there sees these multiplying Israelites and starts getting worried that they're going to overrun Egypt and take over his seat. He's power hungry. And sort of starts what essentially is an ethnic cleansing. He tells the midwives to kill any male children. And when they don't do that, he tells them off. But in 15, you'll see their names are Shiphrah and Puah. Now, Shiphrah is pure and Puah is to glitter. And I think, oh, wonderful woman. And this is what we really want to look for this week when we go through these chapters, is the marvelous woman, the wonderful, wonderful woman that have strength and courage and testimony that allow Moses to become who he is. They work with God and enter in at different areas of his life, different points of his life, that help him to be who he is, to become, right? And to give him those opportunities. It's the women that do it. And I think that's really special, and they often get overlooked. They're a footnote in the Come Follow Me manual, which is sad, but nonetheless, we can look at them and remember them, especially when they're named, because often we know that women are not named, and these ones are named. So that's pretty cool. They were pretty brave to stand up to the Pharaoh, risking their own lives to do that. But they said that, the women are strong. They've had babies before we were to get there. We can't do anything about it. So then he basically just said to his guards, well, if you see any male kids from the Israelites, just chuck them in the river. Crocodiles will get them. Like really terrible stuff. It's not great. But in chapter 2, we read that Moses is born to Levite parents. His mother, Jochebed, most people say Jochebed, but I'm sure she's fine with either. But yeah, Jochebed. She had a child, and she hid him for a few months, then couldn't. So she makes this little ark out of pitch and, a little thing, and puts him in it and floats him down the river and sends his sister. Now, it says sister, and they say in the Come Follow Me manual Miriam, but we don't actually know if it is Miriam. It's supposedly it is, but there's not 100% anywhere that I know of that says that. But yeah, sister stood and watched, and then Pharaoh's daughter saw him in the bulrushes, sent her maidservant to pull him out. There's a woman. Takes mercy on him and sends the maid to find someone to nurse him, and she gets Jochebed to come nurse him. So his mother still gets to bring him up a bit. It's kind of cool that happens right in Pharaoh's kingdom. So he gets brought up with the best education, all the stuff in Pharaoh's court. He's part of that. He's a prince of Egypt, just like the movie. There are some things in the movie, of course, that are artistic license. However, it's still a really good movie. You can learn a lot from it. So anyway, so he grew up and did all of that, and then he saw someone attacking some of the Israelites, the guards attacking the Israelites for no reason, and he said, no, don't do that, and fought back and killed the man and buried him because he's like, oh my gosh, what have I done? And then he heard some of the Israelites talking about that they were going to knock on him. So he flees. He flees to the deserts, to the Midians, Midian had 7 daughters. What's his name? Jethro, the priest out there, and lives out there for a while, marries one of the daughters, Zipporah, and raises some kids. But And 23 and 24, which is what we're going to look at, long way to get there. I just had to sort of give you a background so you know where we're at. So all of this is going on. He's had a son called Gershon. So he's old enough to have a son. He's living out in the desert. There's lots of things he may have done before all of this happened, and different accounts will tell you this. But we're going to look at what's in this week's reading. So 23 and 24 say, "And it came to pass in process of time that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage, and they cried, and their cry came up unto God by reason of the bondage. And God heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob." So the Pharaoh that was there died. The new Pharaoh takes over. This is the one that had been raised with Moses. So they knew each other. And still going on. The horribleness of it all is still going on. But this is the children of Israel seeking deliverance. So they cried unto the Lord. How do we seek deliverance? We read of the enslaving of Israelites under a new Pharaoh, right? Their life was very far from comfortable. Very, very far from comfortable. And the children of Israel didn't just pray. They cried unto the Lord. They pleaded. They cried. God heard their cries, and he remembered the promise that he'd made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob of freedom, of having their own land. Unfortunately, these folks just weren't quite ready yet, but they were still crying for deliverance. This is Enos kind of praying. This is pleading all night unto the Lord. Please save us. Please help us. Deep pleading, complete focused begging to be heard. And God heard them. So if you're seeking deliverance from a trial or trials, are you praying? Are you just praying? Or are you crying unto God? Are you pleading with him? Are you giving everything in your heart and soul and pleading with him? Or are you just sort of praying about it and then forgetting about it? Think about that. What else can you do to really cry unto the Lord, to really seek that deliverance? Like the children of Israel did here. They're seeking deliverance. They pleaded, they begged, they kept doing the best they could. They had a lot to learn. They really did. So do we, right? We really do too. So what else can you do? Elder Richard G. Scott, he said, when you face adversity, you can be led to ask many questions. Rather than, why me, may I suggest these? What am I to do? What am I to learn from this experience? What am I going to change? Who am I to help? How can I remember my many blessings in times of trial? Those are much better questions to ask, because the why me sends us into a spiral of just negativity. So if we can look at those questions, what am I to do? What can I learn from this experience? What am I going to change? What am I going to change? What can I change? Who am I to help? And how can I remember my many blessings in times of trial? They will put you on a much better path to positivity and crying unto the Lord for deliverance. They will help you feel the Spirit as you cry unto the Lord for deliverance. Yeah. So we're going to go over to Exodus 3, verses 2 to 4 for the next one. I'll see you there.